Taking another live look at State Farm Stadium in Arizona. Right now, gospel performers leading supporters in worship as thousands continue to pour into Charlie Kirk's memorial. Now, this service was organized by Kirk's nonprofit, Turning Point USA. It's expected to begin at the top of the hour, so stay with us. More than a dozen lawmakers, cabinet members, and worship leaders in attendance, and we will have complete coverage led by our own Leland Vittert live at State Farm Stadium. He is inside, and we will be hearing from him very shortly. And joining me now, national correspondent Jessica Cartalia, who's been doing a fantastic job. She's outside of the stadium where so many people are trying to get in, and it's been a little chaotic. Jessica, how are things now?
Yeah, Laura, thank you for that. It is very chaotic out here. Take a look behind me. This is the front of the line where people are just now going into the stadium grounds. I want to be very specific because once they're in these gates, they still have to wait in a long line with all of those switchbacks to try to get in. Also, take a look at the ground. I mentioned that you cannot take anything in. There is trash all over the place. This is going to be quite a cleanup. When you have 100,000 people trying to get into one arena, they're having to leave their bags, chairs, whatever they brought with them out here at the gate. A man just walked up behind us and said, "Yay, we're finally getting into the stadium." And then I asked a man here at the gate, I said, you know, once they're in there, does this mean that they're in? And he said, not quite. He said they still have a long way to go. But Laura, you have to see this because we're at the, this one entrance, but the line snakes all the way around the parking lot. And then look here down this aisle, just past this photographer, you can see those are those switchbacks that I was talking about. And this is just in the parking lot, right? So it switches back and forth 3 different times the length of, a parking lot that you would at a football stadium. So you know how large they are. You think of all the tailgaters that would come to a game, right? They're still at the back of the line. The line continues to stretch outside of the stadium, switches back and forth several times, comes around to where we are. Then once they're inside of this makeshift gate, they'll have to stand in more lines. So no guaranteed about getting into the stadium to see this. There is overflow. Whether these people will go into that Desert Diamond Arena next door, that's unclear at this point. They're just trying to get as close as they can.
Jessica, is there any sign of, large screens outside? Because I would imagine that would make sense. I know that they've got the stadium next door, but gosh, with so many people, and I don't know why there is not any garbage cans by the front door. I can't believe that garbage you just showed us. I mean, that's a small part of the story, but still, it's a part of the story because you've got so many people who can't bring anything in, not even a water bottle, which is why you see that mound of trash. But as far as any kind of big screens, people can't see anything unless they go to that overflow?
No, it's a really good point that you make, Laura, because it's really indicative of just the planning surrounding this, right? So the Secret Service has been on top of things because there are so many dignitaries here, the president here, I mean, half of the White House is here, literally. So they're all being protected. But when it comes to organization of getting the trash cleaned up or maintaining these lines or even emergency personnel for the people who have fainted or vomited being out here in this heat, it's very disorganized, to say the least. The security, our local security who work concerts or are called in, at the last minute. So, of course, this is an unprecedented event. We've used that word so many times. We've never seen something of this level, of this magnitude for a private citizen.
Yeah. Well, it is really quite something to see that many people showing up. We hope that everyone will remain safe and get over to that overflow arena because so many people do want to be a part of what is happening today. It is history in the making, and you're there for all of it. Jessica Cartalia, thank you very much, and we'll check back in with you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.